Okay, so welcome back to the channel. We finally squeezed enough room to get the Subaru into the workshop. So we managed to push this machine all the way back because this is something that's ongoing that I'm going to be working on. But I wanted to get this in here to try and get a bit done because I've owned the car for about 6 weeks now, 5-6 weeks, and I've not managed to do anything to it other than sort of check it. So now we want to get going and actually do some bits and pieces. So I wanted to have a look at the front end. We took the rear bumper off in the last video. We had a check of where the rust is. We know we've got a big rust spot around here. We know we need to reseal, take the glass out and reseal around the seams here that's leaking in that area. We know we've got a bit to do on the seals. We know we've got the rust around the window screen. And I wanted to have a look at the front bumper side of things because one reason the front bumper has got, I've got the fog light covers to go on this. I've got the side winglets and I've got a splitter to go on. And then later down the line, I'll get the bumper painted. But I wanted to have a look underneath and just check for any rust. So bar taking off like prop shaft, diffs, gearboxes, all that sort of thing. We've checked the obvious areas for the rust. So I pulled the bumper off. And to be fair, it's a little bit more fiddly than I first thought. But we got the bumper off. We need a load of new clips because they're all loose and knackered, or they've been on there so long, they didn't want to come out. They've gone brittle and they've snapped. So I've literally got a whole box over here of clips and bits and pieces that needs to be replaced. Now the front bumper came off okay. First reactions of here, we've got like a bit of a grotty panel, but it's not rusted away. So that could have a lick of paint. You could give it a blasted lick of paint. You've still got the foam on it, surprisingly enough. I'm guessing not many do. I've got a broken clip here, which I knew about, and I've got a new one. Just not sure if I bought the right side now. I've got a new one, I'll have to check. Rusty bolts, things like that, no dramas. What I wanted to look at was up here under the wheel arch. Now on this side, we've still got an original, like a foam padding in there that gets the inner wing. You can see there's a bit of dirt and grot and debris and stuff under there. But this here, actually, although that's really nice to sit tucked in the wing there, let me get the torch in a better spot. Although that's nice to sit tucked up in the wing, this actually, you look at this here, holds water. So look, you see there, it's dripping. So that foam pad's absorbed water, and all this mud you see here, which is actually quite a lot, was all tucked down between the wing and the chassis. So all that area down there was completely packed out. I'll try and hook this out of the way for a minute so we can use both hands, and I'll get the torch better. All that area in there was completely packed out with mud. Now I'm really lucky that, bar a little bit of surface rust there, that I'm 99% sure will wire wheel off because it hasn't come through to the other side. There's no signs of anything on there. All still good. We've got away with that one. Got away with that one probably only just the way that holds water and the amount of mud that was in there. So looking at the rest of the arch underneath, it's good. Obviously these shocks look like they've never been off in their life. Same with the hub setup. They're really grotty. But again, there's nothing wrong as such. They're just old and used, you know. The car hasn't been messed around with. All looks good. Been looked after in the sense of not being abused and not being completely neglected. We've got surface rust and a bit of scabbiness on the, do you call it a U-frame underneath? But it's okay. Same the other side. We've got scabbiness on this side on the U-frame and there, but I've given it a good old prod, and it's not, it's just kind of surface rust. You could probably take this off and blast it and then have it coated. I don't know about buying another one. I'm quite a big chunk of steel. I'm guessing it's not going to be cheap. Peeking through there, I don't like the look of that water hose and that clip. That looks pretty perished. Still soft, but I'd say that would be a good one to replace the water hoses while you notice them. And the same in here. This one didn't have the little arch liner piece in there protecting everything, but it still looks really good, to be honest with you. But again, it was absolutely packed with mud right down in there. You see I've cleaned it all out, giving it a blast out with the airline, and again we're good. But these wings, you can see there, it started to go a bit scabby, but I can literally scrape that off. Well, I scraped that patch there with my fingers, so it's not gone through to the wing. Everything's still looking good. Obviously we're very stone chipped up and a bit of gravel rash, but we're looking good. The wings on these, everyone says they're really bad for rot. These ones look spot on, so we're quite lucky there. Whilst we're under here, one of the issues I've got to sort on the car, you can see up there, I'll just get the torch and I'll try and use my hand. You can see we've got a drip at the back there, and it appears to be coming from this rocker. So that's one of the ones we've got the gasket kit for, so we need to change that. And then we've also got, we're dripping, you can see the drip there, we're dripping off of the oil filter. I'm not sure if that's coming from above or where. So we've got oil filter, we've got all the kit to change it and give it a good service, but it looks like we'll have to just give everything a go over. Is it weeping around that hose, or is that just leaked? I'll have to work it out as I go, really. Do a service, do the rockers. That side you can't see because the exhaust goes completely over it with here, but this looks like they're going to be fun to get out. Look at the state of them bolts. I'd say they've never been out in the life of the car, and I can only guess the grief they're going to give me when it comes to trying to get those out. But other than that, again, looking under here, looks pretty good. So it's the first time having the front up in the air properly, and it's definitely had some sort of under seal on here. You can see it's been sprayed up like a Schutz type under seal to protect it. So yeah, it's looking pretty good under there. A little bit of work to do, but I wanted to check there was no major rust before we get stuck in and it goes to the body shop. We've got a clip to replace there. I think I might have broke that when I changed the headlight bulb, but I have got a new one. I'm just not 100% sure I bought the correct side, but I've got one of those. If needs be, I'll buy the other one. They're £10 each. And then yeah, we'll be getting those done. Change the clip. We've got new shock rubbers, because these ones you can see there, they're completely split, and I don't want that popping up through there. So we'll replace these. I've got new Subaru ones because the suspension is obviously old and crusty, but we haven't got the money to start diving in and throwing money at suspension when we want to get all the important stuff like the rust done, so we know we've got a solid car. After that, we'll move on to the things like the bushes and bits and pieces there. So I will get the back end up in the air so she's fully on the stands, and then I'll start working through bits and pieces like the rocker covers, the gaskets and bits and pieces. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how difficult it is. As I said before, I've never owned one of these cars, and I've never ever worked on one of these cars. So it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. I've watched plenty of videos over the last month of how to do different bits and pieces, and it doesn't seem too bad. People say give yourself 2 to 3 hours. If I've never done one of these before, I'll probably give myself like a day, you know. But now I've managed to squeeze the car in the workshop. Everything's turned off now because I'm going home for the day, but now it's in the workshop. As and when I can get the machines running and have jobs on the go, I'll be able to kind of flip back and forwards. And now we're inside, it doesn't matter if I get stuff started and then I kind of lay it out neatly on the floor and I carry on the following day. Because this has got to come off, battery's got to come out, air intake, air box to get all the way down there to the bits and pieces to do the rockers. And then whilst the bumper is off, we can modify and put the little slots in for the winglets. Covers can go on. We can do the splitter and stuff like that, so it's all ready to go. So yeah, that's just a short update, checking the front end of the Blobeye for rust, and so far I think we're looking pretty good. So yeah, cheers for watching. We'll see you again soon.